Hello from Tennessee. Today I'm going to do a little ramble on making friends. I'll be right back. Okay, so yesterday I had the pleasure of doing a live stream with Watch Talk with the Punters. I'm going to link them down below for those of you who are not familiar. Really fun live stream, lots of news, great job, NS something on that. Very knowledgeable group of folks, and really fun. We reviewed the collection, my collection. It was great, and to be honest, I was a little nervous going on because these guys know their stuff in terms of knowledge-wise and everything else. But the host, Thomas and Blue Shirt, were awesome, very welcoming, very supportive. It was a very enjoyable time, and it got me motivated a little bit because one of the questions that was asked, they asked about my channel, of course, but then also they asked about my mantra. Thomas asked about my little mantra that I do at the end about staying positive, making friends, and enjoying the journey. And I think by asking that question, got me thinking, through my drive time today. I had to go back to work this week, but it got me thinking a little bit, and really rejuvenated me too as well. I've been a little bit away from doing, my little vlogs, I guess you would call them, and partially because I landed this awesome watch, the Black Bay 41. I've had this on the wrist since this morning. I'm home. I haven't swapped out yet, but just a great watch. And I think what had happened is, excuse me, I've been struggling for content and so forth. And I think doing that live stream yesterday was great. I've gotten to know Blue Shirt and Thomas both, and great guys, and I feel like I'm really solidifying some good friendships with them too as well. And I also think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention somebody else on that live stream who was James was on that live stream as well too. And James and I have an interesting history because when I first started on this journey, one of my favorite channels, and it still is one I don't miss, is Not So Obvious Watches. And James and I would constantly, over the course of probably a good year, would just communicate through YouTube and comments. He was constantly commenting back, and we go back and forth. One of the highlights of one of Pete's videos he did was when he I can't remember what milestone he reached, but James and I were really on to his channel fairly early, and it was pretty cool where he called both James and I out too as well, just thanking for the support. And I don't know, as a watch geek, that meant a real lot to me, to be honest to you. So James was on that live stream yesterday, and it really got me thinking. I've made no secrets about the friends I've made in this hobby. And as I said on that live stream yesterday, the list of folks that I've met and that I'm establishing relationships with is longer than my arm. And I think one of the challenges I have as I kind of find my place in the watch community, so to speak, is that the one thing, even though we love these things, these watches, and they tell the time, one of the biggest challenges that I find, at least for me, is having the time to go on live streams. I mean, because while that's fun for me, when I did that yesterday, that was a couple hours out of my weekend, so it's challenging. And so what I found that my strategy, I was clicking my pen. Don't you love people that do that? It should give me views, right? Sorry. So the reality is I don't have a lot of time, so I protect it a little bit too as well. I've got a core group of folks that I'm constantly, communicating with, really good tight group of watch friends that I've made. that I've referenced before. And then as I tried to meet new people and develop those relationships, I hate to say it this way, but like I find myself being selective to some degree on how to spend that time because you could get swallowed up, and I'm not in a position to do that right now. Obviously, working a full-time job, and obviously I don't put a lot of time into this. You all know that too as well, because it's supposed to be fun. I mean, do I hope this grows someday? Sure, but if it doesn't, I don't really care. So with that being said, I think it's fun to kind of go back and really talk about the friends, and while my whole mantra, like I was saying, was staying positive, and you will make friends, and you will enjoy the journey. And I find that finding folks that like James and Blue Shirt and Thomas that I continue to get to know better, it's super cool because like I mentioned on the live stream yesterday, how boring this hobby would be if we all like the same watches. And I think as a collector, I think that is what's unique about this community, and it's probably can be said about other communities. I've got a good friend Dirk who does stuff with knives too as well, and so obviously all the diversity there on the knife side too. So I know he makes friends left and right through the community, and I feel like I have the ability to keep doing that too as well. But the cool thing about it is there's so many folks that just, I would dare say, well, I could say almost with 100% certainty, nobody's collections are going to be the same, especially if you have multiple watches. I guess if you're a one-watch person, there might be somebody else out there. But at the same token, all our tastes are different, all what we go after, how much money we have to spend, all those types of things. But when we can get together with a group of people across different groups and just talk freely, and encourage folks with the collections that they have, I think it's a very welcoming thing to bring people into the community. So with that said, thanks guys for yesterday. I had a great time on that. I think I will start popping in. I might pull a Dole Sanders and pop in for a half an hour and then move on. But anyway, I think that's enough for now. I'm up over 7 minutes. I usually don't go this long. What y'all think of the new studio? I had a comment that my angle was too low, which I really appreciated. So I precariously am putting my camera on a garbage can. This is the behind the scenes stuff in a budding YouTube empire, right? So, but this is kind of my happy place right now. After a Monday after vacation is not an easy thing. I can just tell you that right now. It's like a super Monday on steroids. But anyway, thanks for listening. As always, stay positive, make friends, enjoy the journey. Talk to you soon.